I've actually already created the item. I'm sorry, I got a little gung-ho about it.
That's okay.
So okay, so this is the item that I created and assigned. Um, so if we just want to put one item on there, then we should just be able to go to the calendar and click here.
Joe, is the calendar the place in which the agenda items are called up, or is there another place where they exist?
So the agenda items typically when you go into the meeting, like Matt, if you can click on that little eye with a circle up in the upper right hand corner. So right there we have items not assigned. As you create agenda items, you should be able to click on that items not assigned and they'll show up there. And then from there you can click and drag them over and you know, drop them into the spot on the agenda where you want them to be.
I guess I misspoke that. If you're looking for different agendas, are the agendas located on the calendar only, or do they appear somewhere else?
The agendas themselves, I believe, just appear on the calendar. Is that right, Krista? Is there another place where they reside?
Yeah. Where else would you expect an agenda to show up? Why can you explain why you'd want to see more than one agenda at a time? Or
Well, if we have several agendas that are in the calendar for different agencies, and I'm working on an item and I forgot which agenda I'm working on, other programs sometimes have a dashboard or just me what I've been working on as opposed to searching through a calendar. But that answers the question. It's on a calendar. The calendar is the place where you find the agendas.
yeah, and if the agenda is something that you're working on and you have 3 drafts of agendas, the one for this week and the one for next week and the week after that, all of those are on that home page, depending on the status, if they're in, you know, if you have an action and it's pending, if it's a draft, or if it's something that you recently touched but don't have any more actions on. So that is on the home page. Mm-hmm.
And just so y'all know, I'm trying not to move my mouse because somehow, and I don't know if it's designed like this, but this is scrolling with my mouse movement.
Oh, so you're not clicking on anything, you're just moving the mouse?
Yeah.
Okay, that's odd.
Oh yeah. So I'm trying not to move it terribly much, too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess let's go to view would be our next option here, and then so from here, I guess we got to go back to the calendar. Is that right? Or do we print?
So, well, you can print from here, or yeah.
Now, at this point, why wouldn't there be a public version of this?
I don't think it doesn't make it public until you've posted it. So up until then, it's just private.
Okay, so how do I post it? Because I don't see a way to do that.
You should have permission. Hang on here, let me look at something. Uh, maybe I can't. Can you scroll down to the bottom of the agenda, Matt?
Yep.
Hmm. Okay. Go back up. Go back up to the edit.
That.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Over on the left side, under agenda builder.
Oh, I got you. Yep.
So, okay, click on the little save, the little floppy disk button there next to your printer.
I'm pretty sure we purposely removed any approvers just so that we could actually get one generated.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Krista, are you still there? Are you?
Yes, I'm still here. So I'm
Okay.
sorry, what happened when you clicked the save button? Didn't see anything happen.
Nothing.
I didn't see anything happening there.
So is saving meant to take us to the next step?
Or the scrolling item. That's right. So you can't post until you've completed step 1 and 2. So you must complete those steps in order. So you must finish editing and submit it to move forward. So for some reason we are stuck in this edit mode and we aren't able to save it, which I'm not sure why that's happening. So it looks like there is some sort of bug that's going on here, maybe related to that weird scrolling thing. So I think Joe made a note of that. I don't know if we can try to reproduce that, because it should only be scrolling when you've grabbed an item and you're dragging and dropping, because you want to have full range of motion while you have an item that you're dragging onto the agenda. But after you drop it, it should go back to a regular scrolling. So it must be something related to that scrolling thing that I think is blocking us from saving. So yeah, thank you. If we can walk through that one more time and reproduce it or see what's going on, then I think we can move forward.
I want to see if by closing out and reopening, maybe that changes. Maybe I did something that It didn't.
Yeah.
It
And
didn't
and I'm
like.
sorry, I don't see something on here. Joe, are we recording this so we can share it with the developers if need be?
Yes.
So it's not doing that now.
Okay. That's
Okay,
good.
good.
Okay. And it wouldn't let me drag this particular item on there. Oh, it might this time. Too many agenda items are on the agenda.
That is okay. This is a feature that you guys, it snuck in here between the couple weeks ago and today that we have not talked about yet. So go ahead and click save now and see what happens.
I clicked it, but it's
I'm not seeing any errors popping up either. The button's still like depressed.
I think it's hung. Yeah, it's locked up. I say
Okay.
it's locked up. It's thinking.
Yeah, oh, something happened. Okay. No, I'm
Oh.
glad we saw this together. I have not seen this happen before. So I think we can definitely record this as a bug and take a closer look at it. Because you're right, it's preventing you from moving forward and going through your steps 1, 2, 3 there. Thanks for sharing it. I'm glad we have this. Yeah.
Now, I've had Chrome open for a while. Do you want me to try closing Chrome out completely and then going back in it?
I'm gonna try later this afternoon on my own machine. Chrome is what we recommend and what we use with first too. So I don't think that that's the
Well,
problem.
I don't disagree
But
with that. I've
yeah,
just been doing
let me
some.
go back and have the team if we can.
Okay. I'm sorry. I get click happy sometimes.
No, this is very helpful. This is exactly why we're glad to have your help and find these sort of things. Because yeah, I have not seen it before, but we just saw it happen on your screen, 2 different things twice. So thank you. One other question then, if you don't mind, since you did mention Chrome, what version of Chrome are you using? Perfect. The latest. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So I wanted to circle back around with you also, Matt. And you said you still can't create a recurring meeting. I must have misunderstood on one of your emails. I thought you said you were able to create one now, but
I can create an
like
individual. No, just an individual meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry, I've had to close that out because it hung up again.
Sure.
But yeah, I'll show you what it does. That way that you can see it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Actually, I think we figured out what the issue was.
Oh.
I think it was all on me. I think I was just being an idiot. Yeah, I think we figured it out. We'll double check it.
Okay.
All right, let's just do that. We'll do that. So I think what I was doing, or rather not doing, was this.
Oh, sure.
Just to create a couple that way that,
Yeah.
yeah, so that did it. It was all me. I was just not looking at it properly.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. That's good though. Good feedback. Okay. So it looks like you're able to create meetings, okay, and obviously have been able to set up your agenda template. So the big issue now is just being able to assign the items to the agenda and then save it so you can post it. It looks like. Does that sound like a fair assessment?
Yes. Yes. I mean, honestly, once we can do that and we kind of see where we're at, we'll deal with the workflow a little bit more, but it's a little bit hard to kind of picture everything first. We want to do that first before we actually start working on workflow.
Sure.
I did mess with workflow initially, but I don't know, like, this was initially set up with Lori being the approver. So I don't know if she didn't
Uh-huh.
see it or if she didn't get an alert. I just don't know because I never had a chance to talk to her about it.
Okay.
We did
Okay.
set me as an approver and didn't see any alerts. When someone receives a pending notification or signed, they're in the chain of approvers, what happens with the system? How do they know that they're supposed to approve something?
So once the item is, I guess it kind of depends on are you approving the agenda item or the agenda?
Let's say an agenda item.
So once the item is submitted, then you should get a notification that you need to approve that item. And Krista, do they get an email notification? Is that right? Or do they have to go into TMM to see that?
Yeah, for right now, it's only on the homepage. We're not sending out emails or texts or notifications, a hub or anything. The reason I say it like that is that we have had that question and that request, and we're looking into the best way that we can do those notifications and giving you the most options. And so we have not set up the emails for the approval workflow. Currently, the emails are sent only upon posting of the agenda or minutes. So that final stage, when you post it, you should get an email. And that is, both inside and outside of the organization, your office, and beyond, just the city that you're in. So yes.
Is that notification personalized, or is it just simply everyone sees the same notification that something needs to be approved?
There are no email notifications. So upon posting of an agenda, it is something.
No, you said on the home page there would be a notification. Is that personalized, or is it just everyone who accesses the system and is approver would see that?
Yes. So what you're seeing there should be the same thing that Lori sees. So if there is any action that she needs to take, she will see it here. So it looks like you have an action to take on that item. And if somebody else does not have an action and is not an approver on that item, they would not see it here on the action. So yes, it is personalized to what you have to take on the agenda item. or agenda.
So this is saying I have something to do on it.
Yes.
Right.
Hmm. How I guess I need to know how am I supposed to, I created it, so how am I supposed to know what I need to do?
Yes, can you go to the eye in the top right-hand corner and look at the audit history? All right, yep, you've created it. And status of pending. Okay, yes, I agree. So this item should not be on your action list. It should be in your recent items. So yeah, well, let's take that one back too, Joe. And we'll test that one out as well and see if it's showing up in the right area on the homepage.
Now, to be fair, and just so you have all the information, we have since removed her as an approver. So she was set as an approver on all of them that came through just so that we could test. And then we decided we wanted to try to get an actual agenda. So we took everybody out. So that happened in the middle of creating this.
Yes. And do you remember when you did make the approval workflow changes? Did you see a pop-up when you went to save and you removed all of those approvers?
I don't remember.
I know I'm quizzing you. Nope, that's okay. So we do have it set up in that any pending agenda items and agendas that are already in progress and already on the dashboard for those users, those are not changed. So in order to apply those changes on this screen here, you can click that customize button that's on the left, right above where Lori is.
Yep.
Yes. And if you have, it looks like we might need to look at some permissions here, Joe. There should be an option here that says refresh. So you can reset the workflow to whatever that is on your meeting type if it has changed. So the reason for that, right, is maybe the workflow is already in progress. Maybe two approvers have already approved it. We don't want to make the assumption that all agenda items should automatically be changed and reset to the new workflow. So that's why we have it in anything that's currently in workflow will not be affected. Any drafts, though, those will take on the new workflow that you have. Any new ones that you create will have that new workflow that's on it. But you should be able to reset here those individual items if need be from the beginning.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So what permissions would he need to see that? Would that be the organizer permission?
It should be just the organizer, yes. So that's why I think we might need to look into that.
Okay. Yeah, he should have that, but I'll double check it.
Yeah, if you don't have that, then that may solve our saving agenda issue too.
Click that button to the right to go to the. I'm sorry.
one?
Right down at the bottom, little arrow. There you go. Yeah. All right. So you're up at the top. So approver, manager, organizer. Probably should have click on the pencil mat and give yourself submitter too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that should not change anything that we've tested so far. But that's good to know of what permissions you have, and then we can again try to replicate that in another environment, see if we are seeing the same issue.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Okay. Anything else, Jeff? Anything else that you wanted to bring up, or Marianne? I don't. It looks like she's on the call, but I haven't heard anything, so I don't know if she has dialed in or not. But.
I guess I mean, it sounds like since we're having trouble, we're kind of going to stop where we're at or pretty close to that. If we're to that point, I would love to visit the list of notes we have and kind of set my expectations of what's pie in the sky developer stuff way in the future, or if this is, you know, something we would expect to see at the end of this process. Like we know about email notifications, it sounds like something that's kind of mid-range, could be available, but wasn't initially built in. I'd kind of like to run through there just so we know where this is going. For instance, formatting on the page, the agenda page, is the formatting cast in stone? For instance, the date, the name of the session, all those seem to take a lot of space in the formatting of the homepage. Will that ever change, or do you think it's more functional and less fashionable, and that will kind of stay that way?
Yeah, I'll take these questions if you don't mind, Joe.
Sure.
I'm not asking for a long drawn out answer. It's just, just kind of to set expectations a little bit.
Sure. That one actually, I had some more questions to you, and I wanted to follow up on, kind of what you might want to see more of. I saw in the list a few ideas, and so I would want to kind of work through some thoughts and expectations of what you might like to see there before we go back and develop anything further. But yes, we want something that's functional and simple. But I definitely agree that sometimes that stuff can take up a lot of space really quickly. So.
Right. For instance, the date, time, name of the meeting kind of takes half the page. Yeah, I'd rather see those things stacked, not top to bottom, but side by side to take up less space. So the agenda should be the what's mostly on the front page, rather than taking, if you were sending a document, any Word document, you probably wouldn't stack things like that, half the page with name, title, etc. Okay. So adding or removing backend users, I'm not sure I care about that, but it just seems like something we'd have to contact you guys about. So workflow. When we talk about workflow, is this program, I notice like approval of an agenda item is you add a bunch of approvers, and simultaneously, let's say 3 approvers respond, or they approve or they don't, and then it moves on. Will there ever be any linear approvals so that, let's say I'm submitting to my boss, who then submits to legal once they've approved? Do you foresee that being the case, or is it a big pool of approvers, and once it gets past that, then it passes the approval stage?
Yeah, do you mind if we go to that page so we can take a look at those workflow options?
Sure. Is that on the that's on the up here? That's in the meeting type, right?
Yes.
Let's see here. Yep.
Great. Okay. So yes, we do have these 4 workflow types available. It sounds like you're using option 1 right now, just to test it out, and that you've tried option 2. Have you looked at option 3 and 4 here?
Yeah, I don't know that we got that far because I didn't notice the approval occurs once all approvers selected have approved in order from first to last. That sounds like what I was just talking about, right? So we could have one person approve, which leads to the next person approving. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, I know that, yeah, it is one person only at a time. So first person, then second person, just like you described, to my boss and the legal counsel, and then to the organizer if you want. But yeah.
Okay, good. Somehow we overlooked that. Okay, that's good. We talked about notices for approval items. I see also, like, so as someone is approving, will the administrator or anyone know where it is in that process? I guess, like, if we're waiting on 2 approvals, will you be able to see in the system who's approved and who hasn't?
Yeah, that is a good question, and you're not the only one to bring that one up in this early access program. And so that is something that we're looking into to find the best solution. Searching is one option, like you recommended, maybe an admin page. But it sounds like the items not assigned that Joe showed us earlier definitely needs a little bit more information there. So we're looking to develop something better on that. So yeah, that I think was one of our biggest takeaways from the list that you provided.
And then the final product, outputting to PDF, will the agenda items be linked to the content inside the PDF so that it will jump to it?
Yes, I had a question on that one. So you are providing the PDF to the board members, not like the agenda screen. The agenda screen, right, has the agenda items and a link to the PDF, and you can click and look at individual items. So I wanted to ask if, no, we just provide like one whole packet as a PDF only, or if they're also going to be using this screen to look at it and want to jump.
No, I do. I guess that was part of the question, is the output in PDF, or is there, during a council meeting, you're saying they would be able to log in to that main screen that has a finished agenda, the whole thing essentially online?
Yeah. So okay. It looks like we'll follow up on this posting agenda part. I think once we have one of those to look at together, it'll be a lot easier to talk through what that looks like and what you guys envision for your board members and whether this meets those requirements.
Okay, so, and because we couldn't, questions are coming up because we couldn't get to that point.
Sure.
And so the output is not only a PDF, but it would post, albeit with a cryptic name. That was another question we had. It was like a 20-character name of random letters and numbers, but it will post to your cloud site with an essential, a linkable agenda that during the meeting they would be able to work that agenda that's on your cloud site. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's correct. So the calendar that you're seeing, and I saw this also on your list, you had a couple of items related to kind of that public view. That calendar would not require a login for the public. They should be able to just go to it. And, if you wanted to share that on the MyCivic calendar, right, like the way to look at that information. All of that is available today. I talked to the developers earlier this morning that are our Scrum meetings, and they will have the correct URL for you that we can try out by the end of the week. So maybe we can schedule I know that these meetings are every 2 weeks. If we want to look at it together next week, I'm happy to do that together, or I can provide that via email and then follow up in 2 weeks. But I'd love to see if that checks all of those boxes for you, because yes, we do have that available today. You just don't have that correct external URL yet.
Okay. I'd rather talk next week. I'd hate to wait 2 weeks to to see what's possible. Hopefully we'll be able to dig into this
Okay.
too. Some of these other issues worked out.
Yeah, I'll make a note and
Yeah, we'll
schedule
look into that agenda posting issue right away, of course, and that's definitely a blocker. And yes, Joe, thank you. Great, I'm excited to look at that with you.
Yeah, and so our week, are we still doing because initially there was kind of a week for our city, a week for another city, a week yada yada. Is that still part of the plan? Where we would have a dedicated person?
Yes, so that was for the initial interactions, but at this point everybody is on touchpoint meetings. But again, you are a priority. We can, I'm sure, find some time. Sorry, Joe, go ahead.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
I guess that's all I have. Obviously, there were more questions, but I think those are the primary ones.
Okay. All right, good deal. Well, we will go ahead then. I will. We'll look into the calendar posting issues, or the agenda posting issues, and see if we can duplicate that. And Matt, I may need to give you a call and get back with you. And if we can't duplicate it here, maybe I'll try. See if I can remote onto your computer, log into TMM under my user account, see if I can post it, so we can see if it's user related or if it's something with your machine or your Chrome settings or something. And then I'll schedule a follow-up meeting for next week. I mean, is next Monday good for everybody?
Checking. Yeah,
I'm available. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll schedule a follow-up meeting for next Monday, and I should ask Krista. I should ask you. Is that a good time for you? Is that
the guys here and things are.
Yes, I was just checking my calendar, and I'm available on Monday too. Thanks.
okay? Fantastic. All right. So yeah, we'll do that. And like I said, we'll follow up with these other things from here and see what we can figure out on the on those agendas. Get that so you can save it and post it and move forward from there. So, anything else before we adjourn the meeting?
I think we're good.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks for taking time today, and we'll be back in touch.
Awesome. Thank you all. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.